Yo, what up, though, world? It's your boy Z. Ozie the Fourth is my name, and I've done something that I haven't done in about, maybe more than a decade or something like that. It's been so freaking long. And that is I stopped smoking weed. I am a smoke every day kind of guy. Like, I've been smoking every day. Let's see. I started smoking every day probably, going back to, it's 2021 right now. Today is the, uh, well, 10th of January. It's very early in the morning here. It's the 10th of January of Sunday, January 10th. It's early Sunday morning. It's 4:36 in the morning. Just a little past 4:20. You know, it kind of made me think about this thing. Well, I was going to do this anyway. But I've been smoking every day probably since about, let's see, 2008, maybe 2007, something like that. So that's more than a decade, actually. That's like much longer. Yeah, I smoke almost every day. Yep. After my daughter was born, yep. No, my daughter wasn't here yet. This is when I was online. I was smoking. I was on a lot of stress, but before that, I was maybe like a weekend smoker, like whenever I got some weed kind of smoker. You know, I was one of those guys. But I became a straight up everyday smoker ever since then. Like you know, it's been for more than 10 years, every day. If not, you know, I mean, maybe I've had one or a few days or whatever during that whole stretch where I didn't do it, but for the most part, every day. Like that's who I've been forever. Don't let me fool you. Sorry if anybody who ever wanted to give me insurance is gonna look at this video and be like, oh. Anyway, but it's the truth. I have smoked weed for as that long, and I now am in a situation where I have actually stopped. I stopped officially on January 2nd of this year. I first was doing it, well, you know, like I said, every day. But January 2nd, I took it as a challenge, as like a dry January challenge here. And the test for me is to go all the way till January 31st, to just have nothing. And the reason I started this is because I saw a podcast, or a piece of a podcast, that by this guy Joe Rogan, where he talked about how your dreams and things you kind of miss when you are smoking or whatever, you don't get to see all your dreams. So that kind of made me think, like, maybe I should think about chilling out on this thing, and you know, just give my body a break. You know, so I've done that. Let me just say, after like I said, unofficially 10 days now of doing this, today being well 9 days, because I started really on the 2nd. This has been a challenge. Not from the perspective, or not in the way I thought it would be. And I'll get on that dream thing in a minute. Actually, my dreams I've seen so many dreams. Oh my God. My dreams have been like outstanding. I see them all the time, you know, and I have multiple dreams in the night. So there's some truth to what Joe Rogan and them was saying, that I see a lot more of them now, and I remember them a lot more. But so that's maybe the good thing, but look at the bad stuff. Bad stuff has been nuts. My cravings for it have been off the charts. Like, anybody ever said it's not addictive? It's kind of addictive. I gotta be honest. You know, Mary Jane, that's what I call marijuana. Mary Jane and I have been a couple for, you know, all this time, like I mentioned earlier. But what's really something is that this has been a challenge, man. This has been a real serious challenge for me. I've we've done the dry January before, of course, where I get rid of alcohol. And I still, even I took, I'm not drinking alcohol either. Arnessa and I, my wife and I are not drinking alcohol. And that's been fine. I've had no problems, kicking away alcohol. I'm not really a big drinker like that anyway. I always feel like I can put down drinking. And I'm usually pretty good at doing mental gymnastics where I can make myself, just cut things cold turkey, or if I want to get into something, I can stay consistent. I'm pretty good at that. I can discipline my mind, but I would say this has been a very unique challenge lately. I have been feeling so, weird. I'm assuming that the scientific aspect of it, I know a little bit about this. I did go to military science school where I learned anatomy and things of that nature, so I'm not a complete idiot on these topics, but what I see this as is my body has decided to, of course, stop making its own CBDs. I guess because I was supplying it from an outside source, so my body didn't have to make anymore. So, because I was always getting it from the outside, just smoking it into myself, and through various means, either I will eat it or I will smoke it. Of course, I have done edibles, and I'm into those, and yeah, it's been pretty wild. But by letting this go, I'm relying on my own body's CBDs to begin to get into me, and so I say create my own CBDs again. And my body is like, we ain't done this in a long time. And it's been kind of a slow process. I've had my first few days of it were especially rough, and then just an aspect of my mood was very mercurial, I'd say. I was just up and down. I wasn't as depressed as I thought I would be, but I was depressed. I wasn't as down and things like I thought. I figured I would be down. I figured I would be a lot more evil and things of that nature, but I was actually, I think, a little bit more, surprisingly, a little bit more in control of my emotions through the first few days or so. I could handle myself a little better. I felt like I could express myself. I found myself actually able to express myself a lot better. And even my speaking ability, I think, has improved slightly, and my thoughts kind of flow a little quicker. So there's some good things to that, of course. But if anything, if somebody were to be able to check me, I probably should have my if I can medically have my dopamine checked, my endorphins, all the happy hormones or whatever that rush through your body. I'm not having a whole lot of those, at least not lately. But I do notice that as time goes on, I'll get these spikes of happy, it'll be I'll wake up in the morning, after having one of those crazy ass dreams, and I'll go to the bathroom, get ready for work and stuff like that, and I may put on a song on my iPad or my iPhone or whatever just to kind of get myself going or whatever, and after that, I'm in a really good mood. I go to work, I'm just smiling, I'm looking good, I'm feeling good, I'm like, yay, this is great. And all it takes is just one small thing to kind of just throw that off a little bit, and I'm back in I wouldn't say it's a depressed state, but maybe a semi-depressed state or some sort of a funk where I'm just not that happy. So it's like a spiky thing. It's not a, like marijuana, when you're taking it constantly, especially as much as I was, it almost works with your body to regulate you in a certain way, keeps you at a certain level all the time. And I'm realizing just how much of my life that I've spent high. And the other thing is I'm now getting into this thing of well, what am I when I'm not high? What am I like when I'm not high? I didn't realize that I really was spending so much of my life high, because even when I'm not smoking it actively, when I go to work, all that kind of stuff, I'm never usually a smoke at work kind of person. I don't like smoking at work. I don't like being high at work. It's not a thing for me. I find that very distasteful, and it makes me make decisions that are just not very business based. Everything is, oh yeah, well, Mr. Pye, can I leave early today? I've got a few arrangements to make, but can I leave early today? You know, oh yeah, sure, honey, go right ahead. You know, so therefore, no, I don't like smoking at work. Mr. Pye, I'm sorry. I know I got caught stealing. I didn't mean to steal. Can I keep my job? Oh, baby, you should know better. But I'm pray for you. I guess I keep you. No, 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 no. See, stuff like that. Just I'm too nice of a guy when I am high, and that doesn't work for me. That's not gonna work for me. I don't want to be that guy when I'm high. At work. I'd rather be that guy at home. I can chill with my family, chill with my kids. I'm playful. I'm in a good mood and everything like that. I'm good. It's the escape from the world that I like so much about weed. It makes me feel like I've gotten away from all that, and that's what it helps me do. So for me to get into this thing now and realize what it's doing to my body and see this is kind of a challenge, man. It really is a very interesting walk that I've been taking here, and it's only been 9 days. I have extreme cravings for it. Like it'll just all of a sudden I'll be watching a show on TV or something like that, and I just sit there. All of a sudden I'll be like, no, yeah, I need to get me some weed. Like, let me my vape pen. Where's my vape pen? Because I always had these things omnipresent. That's just how I am. When I'm at home, is what I do. They say that weed is habit for me, so it's definitely a habit, no question. But and I even it was like my toy. I guess as a child, I love playing with Transformers and stuff. I always transform them and do all these different things, and that's my rolling joints. That's what I do. I'm playing with my Transformers. I'll do my thing, and that's just been fun. That's what I do. And that's my life, and that's been my life for so long now that I'm just like, this is just the weirdest thing I've ever had to do or do to myself. I've been I guess a functional addict, like a lot of people are with a lot of other drugs that they may take and everything. It doesn't take away from my lifestyle or anything like that. But when I am smoking it, but now that I'm not, I realized that a few things by myself. Like, number one, I don't like sleeping as much. I'm always up. Like it's 4, almost 5 in the morning now. I just am up. I'm up. My sleep schedule and everything like that has just gotten way worse. Now, when I was smoking, of course, I also was a kind of a night out too, but I would try to use the marijuana to kind of, because one thing about marijuana, when you smoke it does kind of bring you down a little bit, make you kind of, more loopy, more, look at my eyes, like, red and all that kind of stuff, you just feel, like more chill. So it helps you sleep. And that's a kind of good thing. But for me to begin to feel tired now, it takes a lot more. It takes a lot longer for me to feel tired and for me to want to relax and lay down and chill and, just be with myself in that regard. But, that's been a trip. So my mind is just constantly going, I think, a lot more. And I always want to entertain myself. And I find time flies a lot faster now too when I'm not high, and it's just been a really really new experience. But those spikes, let me get back on that, are very extreme. I like 1 minute I'm hugging my kids, I'm kissing my wife, I'm happy, and everybody all good, yeah, I love everybody, all that kind of stuff. Next minute I'm like, if I get involved in something, let's say I get on Instagram, I get on some social media site or whatever, I'm on my phone and I'm doing something, then I'm like spiked again. I'm back down again, and my mood is crappy. Now, not to the point where I feel like I want to cry or anything. I just don't feel happy, don't feel joyful. I don't feel, good, I may still feel energetic, like I can still move around and all that kind of stuff. Like I do feel that. That's kind of a good thing because usually when I am on marijuana, I am a lot more chill. My body's a lot more relaxed. My body's a lot more, like calm when I'm, smoking. But or vaping or eating it, whatever. But when now that I'm not, I am a lot more energetic, I feel. And that's part of the reason why I can't hardly sleep. I'm up, I'm up. I'm wide awake. I'm moving around. I'm active. I can't sleep. My mind is going. So yeah, so these spikes are something else. That's probably the one thing I think that has been interesting. It's like my body, I think, is learning how to produce CBDs again because it hasn't done it in so long. And I don't even know if my body's actually doing it or not, if I've been lying over matter doing it. I don't know what the circumstances are, but I'm going to do another one of these videos in a few more days. I kind of want to get into the habit of maybe journaling this experience a lot more because this has been just that an experience that I didn't realize, I know one of my best friend, Dwayne, we talked about, and shout out to Dwayne Watts, whatever you are, in Biloxi, Mississippi now, whatever, even though I'm in Farmington Hills, Michigan, aka Detroit. Nevertheless, he said something that, it's just like, because he's like my cheech to my chong, we smoke together all the time, whenever he's in town and all that kind of stuff. It's like one of our bonding things. And one thing he said was that, it's like, you realize that you go through so much of your life high, like so much of your life is just, you're just high. And it's like, what is the real you? Do you ever really get into like what is my body like without this now? Like I forgot that. Like I used to be a kid, where I was on a natural high. Like I look at my son, he just bounces around and stuff. He's always happy, and me, I have to kind of fight for that feeling again, or feel like I need to focus on it somehow in order to feel that again, or a lot of times I just try to busy myself, and it's just kind of weird. But one thing about Mary Jane is for me, it's like a living thing. It's like a living. Mary Jane, I call her a real woman. She's like a living person. She and I have a relationship. I've even been in some meditative states where I felt like I've talked to her, and she's like, "Look, I got you, baby. Just take more of me, and you can just relax. Just she's like the perfect girlfriend that just caters to you. Like, baby, I know you've had a long day. Just sit down and let me just get in your gut, baby boy. I got you. I got you. Let me just take care of you. It's just the perfect girlfriend. Perfect. It's the equivalent of just getting you come home and I'm all like ready to be all upset about my day or just kind of feel a certain way, and you got that girl that's just like, oh baby, take your clothes off, just relax. I got some food for you. I got this and that, and I'm gonna give you a blowjob before we get going. And that just makes you just like, oh well, I can fight another day now. I'm good. I'm relaxed. I feel great, and that's what Mary Jane does for me. And has done that for a very long time now, and I felt very good about that. And it's just been a very, very fun thing. It's been a really interesting ride. But being without her is, it's almost like, I'm not talking to one of my best friends in a way, from a connection standpoint, I'm just so used to having her around and being with her, and now I'm not. It's just kind of strange. It honestly is. So, say all that to say, I think that maybe all my fellow smokers out there should take this challenge and try to discipline yourself and see how long you can go. I, of course, have set myself a sight for the 31st now. I have plans to go out of town next week, and I was thinking about, like, if I go out of town, I probably will smoke again just to get into the mood of having friends and all that kind of stuff. But the more that I'm away from weed, the stronger I get. It's kind of a day-by-day process, and I'm thinking that maybe I will not do it when I'm out of town, even just to kind of keep beat and be consistent with that entire time. I understand that weed stays in your system, for so long. Like even to make my earlier point I wanted to get on, like even when I'm not smoking it, it's still in my system, and it's still there providing the CBDs for me and all that kind of stuff. So my body doesn't have to, worry about making too many of them or anything like that. So, or maybe my body does make it, but the supply that comes in from there is such that it makes it so my body doesn't have to maybe work as hard to be responsible for regulating my happiness and my dopamine and my endorphins and all that kind of stuff. I'm not sure. That may be a better question for the scientists and people who actually study these things more intricately. But for me, the more than casual user, I'll say, has been a challenge. And it's been a real challenge. And it's been something that is, it's taken us, so it's definitely had a serious effect on me. And I am doing my best to try to keep it all together mentally and just go on with my days. It's been a trip. I absolutely miss it. I feel like I just don't have anything to fiddle with now when I'm by myself. Like I have nothing to roll up, nothing to do, and it's just odd. And then I miss the sensation of having it and blowing it out. I never thought that I would miss that. That was weird for me. I didn't think that was gonna be what I would feel. That I would feel like I would miss the actual smoke being in my mouth. But that is what I miss. I really do miss that. I really do miss the blowing of it and all that kind of stuff. I thought about smoking a cigar or something like that, but I was like, yeah, no substitutes, man. Just tough it out. Just be better, But I might end up smoking a cigar. I'm looking at that cigar over there like, do another video. I might actually have that cigar. I mean, we'll see. But I don't know. I'm trying to just kind of really keep it as a clean January and not do any drugs of any kind, and or alcohol for that matter, and just keep myself together. Now, if I go out of town, I may have alcohol, I may have a drink or two, because it's benign for me anyway, and I can kick that crap anytime I get ready. I'm really not a big time drinker. Never really have been. As a matter of fact, I'm somewhat of a lightweight. When I actually do drink, I get pretty out of there, and there are some classic episodes that a lot of my friends know about, and I bet I should fuck up on it, but where I have done a lot of drinking and some not so, let's just say, embarrassing things, or not very flattering for myself, or it would be unbecoming of a man in my stature, being that faded off of alcohol. So, and not having it for a while, of course, makes you a lot more susceptible to it when you come back to it. So I gotta be careful in terms of how much I have. So I'm mindful of all that kind of crap. But like I said, it may be a little harder for people who drink every day. And I wasn't necessarily an everyday drinker either. But because of COVID, I probably drank a lot more because of COVID was so depressing. I kind of wanted even something extra to kind of help with that depressive sensation I was going through with COVID and the sickness and everybody dying and all that kind of crap. So I got me drinking a lot more, and which made me put on some weight, which I don't like. And I actually want to take this opportunity where I'm not drinking or smoking to really get back into working out this month. So the next video that I do, I probably will be, hopefully I'll give you a report on how my working out has been and everything like that. And I think that my next videos will not be this long, but this first one I wanted to really kind of tell the story and lay everything out and give the groundwork of what's been happening with my life so far with this whole thing. And now, I don't know how often I'm a journal. I haven't given it a plan yet. I haven't thought too much about it, but I will be doing more of these videos just to try to journal what that thing has been like for me, because it's been a challenge, it's something that I never disciplined myself to really try in the last several years. So for me to do this now is something, and it feels very odd. I won't lie to you. It feels very odd. I'm looking at the time. I was going over 25 minutes. I didn't realize I was just doggone long-winded. It's probably because I have not smoked in a while. I'm just a chatterbox, so I'm sorry. I didn't realize that about myself. I'm learning a lot of things about myself this way. Like what is the real Z actually about? Like, what do I want to do? I find myself, like I said, I dream more. I find myself wanting to write more. Even though I haven't, but I have like these desires are really railing up in me, I guess, because I've got all this disposable time. Whereas before I would spend a lot of time just smoking, and that was my activity. Where I would watch TV when I smoke. Everything I would do had smoking involved in it. You know, I even have my basement outfitted with fans in my ceilings and stuff, so they can take the smell of it out. You know, not very successfully according to my family. They smell it all upstairs and everything, but it still is something that I'm into and I'm concerned about. I like incense and all that kind of stuff, so try to drown out the smell of it. You know, but my whole life is built around that as a activity, and I didn't realize just how much I invested in that once until it's been taken away, because that's all I've been doing. You know, yeah, it has really been a challenge. And, you know, I would say out of everybody that I know, I probably am the one that smokes the most. I've surpassed all the people who taught me how to smoke weed and who I learned from, who taught me how to roll joints. I roll more joints than any of them now. I think that I could smoke Snoop Dogg under the table if you ever have an opportunity. That's a challenge. If you ever see the Snoop, what up, though? You know, let's get it. See who can win. Because I do intend to come back. Don't me too. It's not like I'm quitting. I'm just taking this break right now, giving my body this break, and I probably need to do this a bit more regular, because I'm enjoying the dreams that I'm having, even though some of my dreams have been creepy and wild. Like, I had a dream I got shot, or shot at. I wasn't actually shot, but stuff like that. Wild dreams, you know, dreams in the wildest of places and doing the wildest of things and all that kind of stuff. So that exploration has been very interesting, and I want to do more of that. I may even talk more about some of the stuff that I've been seeing in these wild dreams that I've been having. But I would, you know, definitely say that I think I would highly recommend it for all my fellow smokers out there. Anybody out there who loves marijuana as much as I do, leave it alone for a little while. Let give. As beautiful as Mary Jane is, and as much as you love to lick on her, touch her, and hold her, and keep her in you, put her down for a little while. Let her chill, and see what happens to you. You know, and what kind of person you become in that regard, and kind of get with that person. And that's what I've been doing lately. And you know, I highly recommend it, though. I mean that. So, with that being said, it's almost 30 minutes. I'll be doing a lot more of these, I believe, you know, as I go on. I don't know about a lot. Whatever I'll be. I'll definitely be charting this to see how things go over until the 31st of January, when I will gleefully, at 12 midnight that night, blaze up one more again. That's going to be a Weedtopia night, because it's going to be awesome. But I'm sure I probably won't even be able to get through the first joint, because my tolerance will go way back down. I got to start that whole process all over again. But it'd probably be just like getting back on a bike again. I'll be right back on that sucker. I'll be able to ride it and do my thing, no problem. So, knowing myself as I do. But we'll see. I may even tell you all about how that goes too. So, when I come back to it. But in all things, like I said, I cannot stress how much of a challenge this has been, and what it's done for me and to me and everything. So, like I said, it's like a friend of mine that I haven't seen in a while, haven't talked to. It's been no contact, and that feels odd, you know. So, with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off, but I'll be doing some more and give you some updates on how everything turns out in the future. So I'm hoping for some better days. Maybe these spiking things will stop and I can get to something more level, but I'll let you know. Word up, though. Peace.